Hey guys! So today's video is going to be my question and answer video that was supposed to go up yesterday, but if you follow me on Twitter you know that I had woken up with a swollen eye, and I kind of scared myself into going into the doctor by reading a bunch of stuff online, and one of them was like, if you wake up with a red swollen eye then you've got this skin eating disease, and I was like, ah! So I called my mom and I was like, we have to go to the doctor. So we went to the doctor, and here's a picture of how I looked after the doctor, but you can see that my one eye is pretty small looking compared to the other. It had gone down a lot by then, but it was just starting to break out in hives. So he said that it could have been just a huge hive on my face, or it could have been some kind of bug bite. He just couldn't find a puncture one for it. So I had to get some steroid shots, and I'm on steroids right now. It's still a little swollen, only like in this area right here. Yeah, I couldn't film yesterday because I was just kind of looking like this. Like I couldn't, it was weird. It felt really weird. So I feel like all I'm doing is apologizing lately for not getting videos up, but I am trying my best. So like I said, today's video is going to be my question and answer video. Lots of you guys left questions for me, but lots of you guys left the same questions. So I think I only have around 30 questions that I pulled, 30 or 40, something like that. So hopefully we can get through all of them. Some of them are going to be just kind of short one word answers, because they're kind of just like silly questions you guys asked me. So I'll throw a few in there, and then some of them will be more long-winded answers. So I'm assuming this video is going to be long, so grab yourself a snack, a Capri Sun, and let's jump in. Before YouTube, I was a bartender mainly. I was bartending at a kind of like a cheesecake factory. It was BJ's Brew House. I can tell you guys that now because I don't work there anymore. But I'd worked there for 5 years, and it was okay. You made really easy money, and it was really easy shifts and stuff like that, but I felt like bartending made me super cynical almost, because if you've worked in a restaurant, you know what I mean. It's like the rudest people come out to eat or something. Obviously I'm not saying everybody is, but I had just a lot of rudeness thrown my way, but it is what it is. I made really good money at it, but obviously, like all things, you get tired of it, like all jobs. So I quit there when I was able to financially support myself on YouTube. So I don't miss one single job that I've ever had in my life, and I've probably had around 40, 50 jobs in my entire lifetime. I started working when I was 14 years old, and the first place that I ever worked was my mom's office. It was like a roofing company, and I hated it. I was like the office assistant, so I had to take like people's phone calls or like yelling at me. I'm like, did I put your roof on? Don't yell at me. You know, I'm 14 years old and I'm already sassy because my mom is. And they had me filing, and I was just like the worst filer. I was like, oh, this is an S file. I'll just go ahead and put this in the P's. Oh, this is a B. I'll go ahead and put this in the Q. So I just didn't care. I was 14 and it was summertime, and I was like, why am I here? Because I want to make that money, girl. I've worked at the flea market cutting onions at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've worked at Sonny's Barbecue. I've worked at Wing House. I've worked at law firms. I've worked at real estate agencies. I've worked at tons of hair salons. I've worked at art supply stores. I've worked at A&W, the fast food restaurant. That's why I've worked there. Where else have I worked? I've worked so many damn jobs. I've worked like after school programs. I've done honestly, I've done so many things, it's ridiculous. I used to just quit jobs whenever I wanted. Like, someone would be mean to me, I'd be like, okay, cool, I quit, you know, just walk out. I'm 17, 18 years old. I didn't have a care in the world. The worst job ever was definitely working at the flea market. Going to work, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was cold outside, having to go there, and I worked in the, what the hell was that? What are those things called? It was some place that made like sausages and onions, and they put them in this thing, and they was just so gross, and I seriously would cut onions for 8 hours a day and just be back there bawling my eyes out cutting these onions, and the lady would call me Michelle, and it was just, that was definitely the worst job I've ever had, working at the flea market. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I started YouTube because I had always had a natural talent for hair and makeup, and I was watching something on YouTube and I saw all these girls showing their tips and their tricks and their tutorials and stuff like that, and I was just kind of like, hey, I can do this too, you know? So the first time I ever made a video, I made a video for my friend, and I was like, I don't know how people do this on YouTube, but now it's like second nature to me. So I started YouTube because I just wanted to share my knowledge with you guys and connect with you and build online relationships, which I have done. So I'm so thankful and grateful for all of you for supporting me and sticking with me through these 3 years that I've been here. And that's a simple answer. You don't. You don't handle it. You don't deal with it. You just remove the comments, because I've noticed that if you leave the comments on your page, it kind of encourages other people to be rude on your page, because, you know, monkey see, monkey do, and they say, oh, look at this person leaving a rude comment. I can leave my rude comment too. So the best thing is to do is just remove those comments from your page and just roll it off your back. My favorite quote, like when I think of stuff like that, because I have my mom ask me how I deal with it, I have friends ask me, and the best thing that I can say to them is, if you don't know them personally, don't take it personal. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I could give a finger in the middle of what anybody that I don't know personally thinks about me. Even people that I know personally, I probably don't care what they think about me. I feel like I've gained a lot more confidence in myself. And I'm a lot more secure with myself, and I don't know if that's just coming with age or if it's because I'm putting myself out there to so many people, and obviously you get a lot of feedback and stuff like that, but I just feel like YouTube has made me a more secure person with myself, which is almost kind of weird, right? Like, but I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence from being on YouTube. I am a Pisces, and I feel like it fits me 110%. Some things that I read, I'm just like, doo 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 doo. Like, I feel like it's just hitting me like right on the head. I'm sensitive, I'm lazy, I'm emotional, I'm creative, I like to be alone, I'm shy. There's kind of two extremes to a Pisces. They say that you're either a homebody or you're a party animal, and I'm definitely the homebody Pisces. So yeah, I feel like my sign fits me 110%. So shout out to all my Pisces. This one's funny. Yes, they do. And if you're not sure what trill means, you need to Urban Dictionary it. A lot of you guys had questions about my cats. So this is Baby Blue. She doesn't like to usually be held, so I'm only going to be able to hold her for a second. See what I mean? And that's Orange back there. Lots of you guys think I have like 8 cats, but I don't. I only have 2. There's only the orange one and the blue one. You guys might know them also as Gucci and Louie, but we never call them Gucci and Louie. I don't even know the last time we called them that. Maybe like the first day we got them, and then we were like, no, orange, blue, perfect. We did adopt our babies 2 years ago from the ASPCA, which is at PetSmart. That's where we got them from. I'm totally out of breath. And we just randomly one morning we woke up and we were like, let's get some cats. And we did, and it was the best thing ever. Lots of you guys ask about Lulu. She's still at my mom's house because she's blind, and it's just a lot easier for her with the other dogs and stuff like that in an environment that she's used to. I do pretty much see her almost every day, and she's still my fat bag baby. Somebody asked also, why do I like cats and not dogs? Dogs were my first love. I've always had cats around me, but I've never had cats of my own, and I used to actually be scared of cats, and I don't even know how that was possible, but I guess a lot of people are actually scared of cats, and they're honestly the coolest animals in the entire world. They're so self-sufficient, and I don't know what I would do without them. I'll probably be that old crazy cat lady with like 100 cats because I just want to give them all good homes. I almost feel like I like animals more than people sometimes, which I'm not sorry for. There was lots of babies and marriage questions, and I'll kind of just kill this really quickly. I don't have any desire to have any children yet. I love children, obviously, love kids, but I don't have any urge to have any of my own yet. As far as I'm concerned, my 2 fur children are filling that gap quite nicely, and yeah, it's just something that I'm personally not ready for. Shout out to all the moms out there, you guys are amazing, but just for me, myself, at this point in my life, I don't see kids in the near future or anything like that. And as for marriage, marriage is just something that I don't really have strong beliefs in. I mean, 1 in every 2 marriage ends in divorce, so you have the 50-50 shot of your marriage working. And in my opinion, I don't really need to have a piece of paper and a ring on my finger to be committed to somebody. Those are just my personal opinions and my personal views, so yeah. I thought about this for a long time and I was like, when was the last time that I was really embarrassed? And honestly, the only thing that I could think of was back in middle school, like, obviously, right? But it was when I was in 8th grade, so I was probably around 14, and I had on sweats because it was middle school and I didn't care. I had on gray sweatpants and a gray sweatshirt, so I was just all baggy, bagged out, and it was time for lunch and I was standing in the lunch line, not inside the cafeteria, but on the outside line of the cafeteria, and one of my really good friends, he was like my best friend at the time, ran up behind me and shanked me. Not shanked me like jail shanked, but shanked me like pulled my pants down to my ankles, and there I was standing in front of everybody with no pants on and a baggy t-shirt, and I was just like in shock, so I was just standing there and I just felt so embarrassed. I felt like everybody was looking at me, and I pulled my pants up and chased him down the hallway and beat him up. So yeah, that was the only time that I could really remember feeling embarrassed, because most of the time I don't really. Now that I'm older, I could really care less about feeling embarrassed. It's kind of, I don't know, everybody's human. We all do the same things. We all make the same mistakes, so we shouldn't really be embarrassed of those things. So that was truly the only time that I could remember being embarrassed, was when I was 14. So I thought about this for a while, and I guess the only thing that I could truly say is my biggest fear is not being successful, failing at what I try to accomplish, or being rejected at what I'm trying to do, and yeah, just not succeeding would be my biggest fear in life. I'm sure that's a lot of people's greatest fear in life, is to not be successful. I'm not really scared of like dying or anything like that. I mean, I'm scared of like having like a horrible death, like I don't want to drown, or I don't want to be like lit on fire or anything, or squished, but I'm sure all people are scared of that. But those are things that you don't really try to think of. Definitely would be, so yeah, definitely my biggest fear would be just not being successful in life at whatever I'm doing. Let's see, I've got a couple favorites. I don't think that I could narrow it down just to one. They're pretty like funny, right? So we've got Django, Pulp Fiction, Blow, Sex and the City, and Grease. Grease is probably my #1 all-time favorite movie because it's Grease. Okay. My favorite food is probably just any kind of pasta. Chicken, like grilled chicken, fettuccine alfredo, like I'm obsessed with pasta. I'm a very picky eater. I don't know if you guys know that. I really only eat chicken. I don't really eat like beef or pork or anything like that. I'm kind of just a chicken fiend. If I was more versatile or anything like that, like if I did like other things, I would probably be some kind of vegetarian so that I wouldn't have to eat any kind of animal. So I'm sorry to the chickens, but I gotta eat you. So yeah, but my favorite food is probably just any kind of pasta that I can get my hands on and get it in my belly. This was an easy one for me. My inspiration is my mother. She's the strongest woman that I've ever met in my entire life. She's self-sufficient. She taught me how to be independent. And she just basically made me who I am today, to not rely on anybody else, to only rely on yourself. Don't ask people for other things. Just be self-sufficient was the main thing that I got from my mother, and I appreciate that from her so much. So yeah, hands down, my biggest inspiration is my mother. I think pretty much everybody has been bullied. I was bullied, let's see, I was bullied in middle school and a little bit in high school, not really, and then a little bit outside of high school, like when I was like 18 and stuff like that. I was just going through some things with some people that I thought were my friends and they really weren't, and you know, just a lot of name calling and going back and forth and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I would want to fight back. I would want to, you know, hurt your feelings just as much as you hurt my feelings, because I felt like, you know, an eye for an eye. You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. But I haven't been obviously in a bullying situation in a really long time, and it's so sad that the internet is so anonymous and it's so out of control, the bullying online. And I just wish that I could grab every single kid that's in high school or middle school or anything like that and seriously just be like, I know it says it's like all over the internet, like it gets better, but that's like the best thing that I can say is it gets better. The people in high school are just, in middle school, they're just not even worth the time of your day, especially if they're bullying you or anything like that. As soon as you leave high school, it's a whole nother world. I know that right now, like, it feels like that's it, that's your life, like this is real life, but it's not. It's like playtime before real life. So I don't know, kill them with kindness. You know, people hate that, so kill them with kindness. And just, I don't know, I want to tell you guys to just punch them in the face, but I don't want to condone violence. As far as I can remember, I was always into beauty. It was kind of, I wasn't really allowed to wear makeup until I was 16, so it made it even more like, to me, because it was kind of like forbidden in my house. But as far as I can remember, yeah, I've always been into beauty, and then when 16 hit, I was like, you know, I could wear whatever I wanted. And even though when I was allowed to wear makeup, you would think that I'd put like everything under the sun on my face, and I actually didn't. I started off really slow, but by the time I hit my senior year, I was full on glam. I've always been into art, like painting and drawing and stuff like that, so just makeup just kind of seemed like a natural transition. I was like, oh, I can paint on my face? I would 100% be Carrie Bradshaw. Can I have her closet and her shoes and her cute little apartment in New York City, and just, yeah. I would kind of leave like the drama out and just be like, big, you know I'm the one, say I'm the one, let's get this over with. But yeah, it would hands down be Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. That would be my parents' divorce. I'm not going to touch on it a lot because it's something I don't ever really talk about, things that like hurt me or hurt my feelings or anything like that, because I'm not somebody that wants other people to feel sorry for them. I don't want you to be like, oh, you know what I mean? But I feel like I should tell you this, but because I mean almost all kids are not products of divorced parents, but I was 10 when it happened, and it was really sad. I don't remember crying because I was just trying to be tough for my mom because she was sad, so I was like, okay, I have to be my mom's rock now, so no crying. And I honestly remember that I didn't cry from the time I was 10 until the time that I was 19 years old, and I can remember crying at 19, and it just was like the floodgates had opened, and it was like, I was like, I'm never gonna stop crying. But yeah, that was definitely the hardest experience of my life, only because it hurt my mom so bad, and my mom is the most important thing in the world to me, and I'm gonna cry. Yeah, see, this is what I didn't do a draw in my life. But, yeah, it was just tough because my mom's so important to me, and to see, you know, someone that you care about so much being hurt, it was definitely... I'm such a baby now. Honestly, because I feel like I didn't cry for so long, I cry so much now. Like, I'm honestly the most emotional person now. Like, I can't even watch, like, the ASPCA commercial. In the arms of... I'm like, no, I can't watch. I cry at TV shows and everything now. I'm just crying out 9 years of tears, and we're bottled up inside. So, yeah, okay. I'm okay. Definitely my mom and dad's divorce. I am 5'9", barefooted. That is a huge question. How tall are you? How tall are you, girl? How tall are you? You look so tall. Some people say I look so short. I'm like, when do I look short? I am 5'9", barefooted, and when I wear heels, depends on the size, but the tallest that I've been is about 6'3". Oh. That is the most asked question. I bet you guys thought I wasn't gonna answer it, but I will. I'm 27 years old, and yeah, I'm 27. What are you gonna do about it? A great thing that I will say about age, I know that all women are weary about their age, and they say that it's rude to ask a woman her age because, you know, it's offensive or something like that. I don't get offended by it when you guys ask me. I realize that I may look younger than I am. I'm definitely a huge kid. I do not feel 27 at all. I probably feel 17, to be honest, most of the time. The best thing I can say about getting older is you get way more confident the older you get. Or I have personally. I mean, all the people that I've known, I've asked them that too. They're like, yeah, you just don't care about things that you cared about when you were 18. So, I actually like aging. I like getting older because seriously, every single year, I just feel better and better about myself, so. I knew that I would be good at YouTube videos because I would be sitting alone in my bedroom talking basically to myself. I mean, when I sit down now, I actually feel like I'm looking at you guys and talking to you guys, and I can almost feel you guys when I'm in my room now, but I knew that it'd be a good choice for me because I knew that I could be myself 100% and nobody in the room was going to be giving me any side looks because I know that I'm a little goofy and I'm a little animated and I'm a little out of control, right? But I knew that I would be good at it because I could just turn on the camera and be 100% myself. The best thing that you guys say to me when I meet you in person is I am exactly the same on camera as I am in person, and that just makes me feel so good inside. You have no idea how good that makes me feel, because that's what I've wanted all along. I didn't want, when I started to grow and everything, I was like, okay, I have to stay true to myself. I can't become one of these, you know, balloon heads that is just like, shh, just a hot air balloon. And I just wanted to always stay true and be the same exact person that I was when I started. So thank you guys for telling me that. But yeah, the reason I knew YouTube was the best choice for me is because I knew that it was a one-woman show, and yeah, I like my alone time. So YouTube and me, we mesh very, very well together. It not only lets me do things completely on my own time, but I also get to be creative and I also get to interact with you guys. So it's just honestly the most amazing job I've ever had in my whole entire life, hands down. And I'm gonna go with, I love them both, but I'm gonna have to rep the East Coast and say Biggie. Baby, 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 baby. The furthest place that I've ever been is Argentina in South America, and we went there when I was 6 or 7. I think we lived there for like a month or two. It's hard to remember now. I would call my mom, but she's probably asleep. But we went there because we lived in Homestead at the time. That's where I'm from. I'm born and raised in Florida, if you guys don't know that. But we had just gone through Hurricane Andrew, which at the time was the worst hurricane that had ever hit Florida. I think it was like a Category 5. It was horrendous. We had like a 2-story house, and it took like the whole top level off. Like, we were coming home and my bed is like 5 miles down the road. My dad's clothes are all in the street. And the cool thing was, though, it's not cool, but it was a couple days after my mom's birthday had hit in August, and the kitchen was untouched. Not one dish was broke, and her birthday cake was actually still in the microwave untouched. But I guess we got money from FEMA and we actually went to Argentina because that's where all of my dad's family is. It may seem cheesy to you guys, but the day that I made YouTube Partner felt like a life-changing moment to me. And I applied for Partner when I had 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 on the head. I was like, all right, I got 2,000, that's enough. 2,000 people, like, whoa, I'm applying for Partner. And I filled out all my paperwork and I sent it in, and then I remember I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. I applied in like September, and it was like November when I heard back for them, and the thing that I saw in my inbox was, congratulations, you're now a YouTube Partner. And I thought I had won the lotto. I was running around the house. My mom was getting ready to leave. I like ran outside, like jumped on her, and I was like, I'm a YouTube Partner. Like, I had no idea what that meant then. I just knew that I was partnered and that I was thebomb.com, because that's how I felt at that moment. I felt so accomplished at something because at that point, not a lot of people were hip to YouTube. I mean, there were people on YouTube, but 3 years ago was nothing like it is today. Like, there's so many beauty vloggers on YouTube now, and when I saw that in there that said, you are now a YouTube Partner, I just felt so accomplished of myself. YouTube is definitely my biggest accomplishment to date. It has let me connect with so many people, and it's let me do things I've never thought I would do. This was like a top comment. It had like 56 likes on it. I was like, and the answer is no, I've never had braces. These are my teeths. This makes me feel so old. So 143, I put it on pretty much every single one of my videos in the description bar. Sometimes I'll tweet it, sometimes I'll stick it on my Facebook. 143 means I love you. 1 for I, 4 for love, and 3 for you. Back in the day, those were pager codes, like beepers, you know, those things that you stuck on your hip and they buzz. I mean, some of you probably don't even know what beepers and pagers are, but that's what a code was. You would text, you would send them 143, and that's how you said I love you to them. So before text messaging, we had numerology. I don't even know if that's the right way to describe it, but 143 in the bottom of all my videos is just me telling you guys that I love you. I'm really just a social twerker. And then there was like really random questions like this one. Huh? Oh, let me think. Gotta ponder this with some lemonade. I'll probably say L'Oreal because they make my foundation, they make my favorite mascara, which is the Voluminous, they make my favorite under eye concealer crayon, the super blendable crayon. Yeah, so I guess if I had to 100% pick, gun to my head, I'm gonna say L'Oreal. You guys, I can't even find the right words to describe like how grateful and thankful and appreciative and honored and just so damn thankful for you guys. And you have changed my life. Like I said, you've made me a more confident person. You've made me be more secure with myself and who I am just from your sweet words. You guys have impacted my life more than you will ever know, more than I could ever thank you for, and more than I could ever say. So I say thank you, I feel like all the time, but I honestly can't thank you guys enough for believing in me and supporting my channel and just continuing to ride with me. Like, I love you guys. Truly, 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 truly. And I hope, ow. And I hope that one day I actually get the chance to thank every single one of you that's ever supported me, ever said a kind word to me. You just make my life so much better. So I have 2. I couldn't decide which one was my most favorite. Strawberries, no. Raspberries, and pineapples. I'm gonna go with Ariana because Bad Gal Riri can do no wrong in my eyes. She could have yellow hair, she could have a bald head, she could have anything that she wants to do. She can just do no wrong to me, and I love her, and she's just so beautiful, and her voice, and she's also a Pisces, so I'm living it. The reason I am the way I am is my mom has always taught me, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. So I'm going to be humble, I'm going to be down to earth about things because that's how I want people. There's nothing more that I hate than like cockiness and like showiness and like look at this, look at that, you know, like, and I realize that we're on YouTube and we're sharing stuff with you, so it can come off a little braggy even, you know, when you're not intending it to. I can come off a little braggy when I'm not intending it whatsoever. I'm just trying to share stuff with you guys, but yeah, I'm humble and I'm down to earth because I wish everybody was like that. So I'm hoping that if I treat you that way, you're gonna treat me that way. I can't think of something in my life that's kind of made me change my perspective. This is kind of the same way I've always been. So yeah, you can just thank my mama for that. Jeremy, duh. No, he's definitely my #1 favorite DJ. He's definitely my favorite #1 DJ. I'm his groupie. Yeah. But my favorite would have to be Swedish House Mafia. Best show I've ever seen in my entire life. I realize you guys ask this question a lot. This was a super asked question too, and I stay confident because I want to encourage you girls to be confident, or you guys to be confident, or whoever's watching these videos. And I feel like if I put that out to you, that you'll soak that up and you'll want to be more confident too. So like I said, the older you get, the more confidence you get, and you'll start to be like, I don't give a damn what anybody says of me. And that's honestly the best thing that you could do, because if they ain't paying your bills, why are you worried about them, right? Like if they're not, like I said, if you don't know them personally, why take it personal? So I am just hoping that I can give you guys some of my confidence, and that we can all be confident. And then if everybody was confident, there would be nobody would bully anybody, right? Because if you try to bully me right now, I'd be like, ha 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 ha, I would laugh in your face about it, because you're just not going to change my opinion on myself. You're not going to make me think that I'm ugly. You're not going to make me think that I've got a pointy chin when I know that I do. You're not going to make me feel bad about my big forehead, or you're not going to make me feel bad about anything, because this is who I am. This is how I was born. I'm not going to change it, and you better like it, or you just better get off my channel. So yeah, I just want you guys to be confident and know that you're worth it, and know that you're amazing just how you are, regardless of how you look, regardless of how society tells you that you should look. You are beautiful. So yeah, those were the majority of the questions, even though there was so many questions, and I promise you I tried to go through all of them. I went through so many pages. I think I was on like page 25 or something like that, and then YouTube just wouldn't load any more comments. I think there was like 5,000 comments on that question, or in the comment section, and a lot of you asked the same question. So I hope that I answered the majority of your questions. I hope that this gave you guys a little more insight about me. I hope that I answered the majority of your questions, and that you guys know me a little better now. So I'm gonna go take my steroid pills, because it really feels like my eye is swelling back up again, and yeah. If I didn't answer your question, it was a pretty good one, just kind of leave it below, or check the bottom bar if I feel like I left anything out when I'm editing this, so, because I usually do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.